Call to order the Johnson County Council meeting for July the 8th, 2024. Amy, could you do a roll call?
Pamela Burton,
Present?
Ron Deere,
Present.
John Myers,
Present.
Jonathan Myers,
Present.
John Mallers,
Present.
Mona Griesmer,
Present.
Craig is absent.
He's on his way.
She's probably in route.
Yeah.
So now we get through this now.
Okay, we'll announce his arrival. Melinda, would you like to do the invocation for us, please?
Absolutely. Everybody could bow their heads. Our Godfather in heaven, we ask for thy guiding hand over our meeting this evening. Please bless us to be civil and courteous and recognize where we need to compromise. Please bless our meeting that it will be productive, and bless those who are currently working in our community. Keep them safe, and bless all of us with truth, wisdom, discernment in all things. And we ask for this in thy name, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. Pledge allegiance to
To the flag.
the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, proud, and with liberty and justice for all. Are there any revisions or changes, additions or deletions for tonight's agenda? Hearing none, I will, ready for a motion to approve?
To approve. Second.
We have a motion to approve and a second. All, roll call. Can I say just John? Okay, I have to think about this. J.T. Myers made the first. Eddie Myers made the second.
Ron Deere,
Aye.
John Mallers,
Aye.
John Myers,
Yes.
Mona Griesmer,
Yes.
Jonathan Myers,
Yes.
Pamela Burton.
Yes, thank you. Now we are at the portion of our agenda for public comments. If there's anyone in our public who would like to come to the podium, it's limited to 5 minutes. This is your time. You're welcome to come and speak. Well, I don't see any motion toward the podium, so I'm assuming there's nothing online. Okay, so we will now move on to the next part of our meeting where we need to open a public hearing. We will convene a public hearing today, July the 8th, 2024 at 6:05 p.m. to receive comment on an additional appropriation of the proceeds of the county's local income tax revenue bonds with property tax pledge and on ordinance 2024-05, and this would be the second reading. The members of the public appearing at this hearing have a right to be heard, and an additional appropriation of the proceeds of the county's local income tax revenue bonds with property tax pledge and on the ordinance 2024-05, second reading. Is there anyone present this evening that would like to be heard? If so, move to the podium, please. Appearing to be no one that wants to comment, we will now close the public comment portion of the hearing. Now we need any discussion that may be needed on the second reading of ordinance 2024-05. So the floor is open now for board discussion. Hello.
Hello. Thank you. Jeff Peters with Peters and Franklin, financial advisors for this transaction. Did want to follow up for your discussion, our last discussion about contributions toward the project in the form of cash from your correctional facility lit fund in order to buy down the amount financed. The current amount that you're approving in the ordinance is $38.4 million. That is the total for the project, engineering, et cetera. You have previously appropriated, and I assume paid out some of $1.9 million from the facility lit fund toward engineering. The proposal, based on what Mike Reuter has provided, I believe, in fiscal plan and comment to you, is for you to allocate another $8.1 million from the correctional facility lit fund in order to contribute a total of $10 million from that fund, which will reduce the financing or the amount financed from $38.4 million to $28.4 million. Any questions that I can answer regarding that, or anything regarding the plan of finance or the bond ordinance, I'd be happy to speak to on the financial side.
Yeah, so could you repeat that one more time? It was 1.9 prior.
Yes,
And
you've
then-
presently appropriated 1.9 million. So the request is to allocate another 8.1 million from the correctional facility lit fund. That'll be a total contribution of 10 million to get the project from the project finance amount from 38.4 million to 28.4 million.
I don't have any questions. I will just say that I believe yourself, along with Mike Reuter and the ones that have been involved, have extensively explained the situation. I, for one, am completely on board, so I don't know if anybody else has any questions. Ron, do you have any questions?
No.
Okay. Well, if no one has any questions, I'm prepared for a motion, to entertain a motion.
I make a motion to approve ordinance 2024-05, second reading.
Second.
We have a motion to approve by Ron Deere and a second by John Eddie Myers. And a roll call vote, please.
Ron Deere,
Aye.
John Myers,
Aye.
Jonathan Myers,
Aye.
Pamela Burton,
Aye.
John Mallers,
Aye.
Melinda Reese.
Aye.
John
Passes.
Dittmer just got here as well.
Who?
John Dittmer is now here.
Mr. Dittmer has just joined us. Should we move on, or?
We can, we've already got a motion and a vote. If you want to register a vote.
I'll
yea or nay
abstain,
for
because
the-
I don't know what I'm
You
voting
can
on.
also abstain. so-
Okay. All right, just note he has abstained and
Pass?
we'll move on.
Does it
Yes,
pass without my affirmative vote?
Yes.
we're good.
How's that?
Welcome.
Awesome.
Okay, if there is no further business to discuss, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn the public hearing.
I move we adjourn the public hearing.
Second.
We have a motion to adjourn the hearing by John Mallers and a second by John Myers. Roll call vote.
Ron Deere,
Aye.
John Myers,
Aye.
Jonathan Myers,
Yes.
Pamela Burton,
Yes.
John Mallers,
Aye.
John Dittmer,
Aye.
Melinda Reese.
Aye.
And the special meeting is closed. So moving on for our regular agenda items, we're at item D, which is routine matters. It's the consent agenda. And by a single motion, this board approves all of these items, which may include salary ordinance amendments, additional appropriations, reductions, and transfers. Any items listed on the consent agenda may be removed by a council member and moved to the regular agenda. So we get, obviously, review this information prior to. I personally have nothing, so does anyone else have anything from the consent agenda they would like to discuss or have removed? Not, I'll entertain a motion.
I move to approve as presented.
Second.
I have a A motion by John Eddie Myers and a second by John Mallers. Roll call?
Ron Deere,
Aye.
John Myers,
Aye.
Jonathan Myers,
Yes.
Emma Burton,
Yes.
John Mallers.
Yes.
John Dittmers,
Aye.
Melanie Reesner.
Aye.
Passes. Moving on to item E, this is salary ordinance amendments, additional appropriations and reductions in transfer. And our first up is our innkeeper's tax collection.
Good evening, I'm Ken Koski, Director of the Johnson County CBT. Just here for the quarterly appropriation, and also wanted to provide an update since I haven't been back since shortly after the eclipse. We're in the midst of 2 co-op advertising campaigns, one with Visit Indiana, where every dollar we contribute is matched by them, so our dollars go further. A second one is with us, Aspire, and the Indy Chamber. While the first one is to attract visitors, this is to attract talent. So every dollar we contribute is matched by $2. So again, our investment is able to go further and accomplish our mission. And as a result, all of our numbers are favorable so far this year. Website visits are up, printed guide requests are up, hotel stays are up. We're outperforming our competitive set, that's versus the state, Indianapolis, and any of the surrounding counties. So that's just a brief overview of what we're doing.
Thank you, Ken. Any questions? Looks like you got a pretty healthy cash balance, correct?
Yes.
All right, I'm ready to entertain a motion, please.
I'll move to approve as presented.
And I'll make a second motion on that.
Okay. So our innkeeper's tax collection, we have a motion by John Eddy and a second by Melinda Grismer. Roll call?
Ron Deere,
Aye.
John Myers,
Aye.
Jonathan Myers,
Yes.
Emma Burton,
Yes.
John Mallers,
Yes.
John Dittmers,
Yes.
Melanie Reesner.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Item number 2 is Superior Court 1. Hello, Judge.
Good evening. Kevin Barton, Judge Superior Court 1. The request is to establish a part-time rate out of the part-time line item of $35 per hour for a court reporter / probate specialist. Kind of in a nutshell, what's prompting this is that the court reporter that I have is retiring on August 30th. And then there'll be a 3-week vacation payout. We're in a little bit maybe of limbo in the sense that my term ends into December. Those that are running to replace me, I think, are basically as successful. They plan to alter the caseload allocation. They'll be altering staff assignments. I understand that the new court reporter for the new judge has been selected, may not start until January. So I guess my plan is instead of trying to fill a part-time, or excuse me, a full-time position for 4 months, I'm asking permission to basically pay my existing court reporter the $35 per hour rate. She said that she will help part-time for the remainder of the year, and basically with that, then I can probably get by without.
How many hours a week, Judge, do you foresee her working, and do you have enough money?
Yes, I think it's about 13,000. I think it can go up to about 20 hours a week. I don't know if she's working that much. It's probably a lot of this is also dependent on her. She's attempting to relocate to Jeffersonville, and
I got you.
there's just some question as to.
So I understand you're trying to plug a hole until the next term.
And she's obviously already trained, so I'm just trying to.
Any questions, discussion?
I'd move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion to approve by John Dittmers and a second by John Myers. Roll call vote?
Ron Deere,
Aye.
Myers,
Aye.
Jonathan Myers,
Yes.
Paul Albert,
Aye.
Clint Mallers. Joe DeBrusk.
Aye.
Melinda Reese.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thanks, Joe.
Take care of yourself.
Item number 3 is WIC program.
I'm on the screen. Hello.
There she is. Happy birthday.
Hi.
She just had a birthday.
I did. I turned the big 50. I'm in the new club now.
I wasn't going to say that.
I know. Well, I'm Tracy Smith. I am the coordinator for the Johnson County WIC program, and I have a request to add a WIC nutritionist line item. Does anybody have any questions?
I do, Tracy. Why in the middle of the ballgame? I don't understand why a new one is needed. Is this a brand new position?
No. I don't know if you guys got the letter, but this was it's a current employee who has been working part-time, and we have been looking for a full-time position, but she was able to approach us, and now instead of us hiring a new person for a full-time, she's actually going from part-time to full-time. She has a disabled adult son at home who just got accepted into a full-time adult daycare program, which allowed her to approach us for that full-time position.
I did see that. I'm sorry. It's on
That's
there.
okay.
Isn't it?
That's okay.
Completely.
Yeah.
I did. My bad.
That's okay. You guys have a lot of paperwork to go through, so.
Completely explained it.
A nutritionist, how is that? I mean, what are the credentialing of a nutritionist?
We are registered dietitians and registered nurses.
So this person is not an actual dietitian?
She's a registered nurse.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
An RN working as a nutritionist.
Yeah, so that's kind of WIC lingo. We call them in our world. It's just a nutritionist because it could be an RN or an RD, interchangeably so.
But, they're actually really two very different things. An RN has not been trained on dietetics or nutrition. I know, I'm a registered nurse, so.
Yes, yeah. So the Indiana WIC program hires nurses and dietitians to do the counseling and the certifications within our program.
Okay. Any further discussion?
Just a general
Questions?
question. How does this fit into our new position process with how we classify, what the classifications of positions are with WIS? Or does it?
Well, these are, did you want to do it, Tracy? These are state jobs that basically come predetermined from the state. She's grant funded.
Okay. So it's exempt from that process, basically, because we have to do it? Is that what I'm hearing?
I believe so. Adam, somebody help me out here. It's kind of like the prosecutor's office or those other offices that it's mandated what they have, who they hire, what the qualifications are, type thing.
That's my understanding as well. ICA, I think, would be more qualified on that particular question answer to that. I do know WIC is state-funded wholly, and I'm sure they have different requirements that they're putting on Tracy to make sure their staff with the appropriate personnel to execute the mission of WIC.
Is this correct, Tracy? Would you like to speak on that?
Yes, yeah. So it's a federal, USDA is the federal funder. And then, it goes through the federal government, and then the USDA gives the grant funding to the states. And then, so I have federal regulations I have to abide by. Then I have Indiana state regulations that I have to abide by. Then I've got, the county. So kind of keep it all in line.
Relative to workload versus staff to take care of that workload, that's where the mandate is? Mandate?
Yeah, right now it's the staffing ratio is like 450 participants to 1 FTE.
So how much is this nutritionist getting paid an hour at this point as a part-time person?
the rates would be the same. It wouldn't change in the wage.
So which is what is, so $58,422? I just divided that out myself, and that works out to be about $28. Let's go back to my calculator here. $28.09 an hour. Is that what you have?
I'd have to pull up the budget here, because I had it on the 144.
I think a copy of that, I'm not sure.
Yeah. Let me see.
There's no letter, I think.
So 29.96, I believe.
Yeah.
We work 75 hours, not 80.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Okay, 75 hours at 29 an hour for a nutritionist, which is a registered nurse working in the role of nutrition. I kind of have a hard time with that. I don't know.
Anybody else have any further comments or questions or
Yeah, just to
discussion?
clarify, my only question was, are we consistent in what we, in our
Absolutely, in
process?
this
So that's
program.
one, I appreciate the clarification.
Yeah, this is not out of the ordinary. Her request isn't out of the ordinary based on Anybody else?
I move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion to approve by John Dittmers and a second by John Mallers.
Ron Deere,
Aye.
John Myers,
Aye.
Jonathan Myers,
Yes.
Pamela Burton,
Yes.
John Mallers,
Aye.
John Dittmers,
Yes.
Melinda Reese.
Aye.
Okay, moving on, we have the base. Okay, we have the health department and some of their grants.
Betsy Swearingen, Director of the Health Department. Yes, 4, 5, and 6 are mine. 4, 5, and 6 are mine. 4 and 5 are the Basin CRI grants. Those are the preparedness grants that start new on July 1st. So the base is for salary, FICA, and PERF. The CRI, and then number 5, the CRI, is for some wages also, operating supplies. It's just the appropriation of the money that they give us every year.
So is there anything unusual or out of the ordinary on the people that you're paying or the wages that they're paying this is just-
Exactly, it's exactly status quo every
Okay.
year. It's just the beginning of July 1st started the grant year. It runs a little bit different than, the fiscal year is different. It's July 1 to June 30.
So it's
Just need to appropriate the funds.
bookkeeping.
We actually don't even, to be quite honest, we don't even have them yet. So we just know that they're coming. So-
Okay,
And all of them are grant-based.
I'm sorry?
All of this is grant-based.
They are. This is actually will be BP1 of another 5-year grant cycle, which amounts to about, they said 20 years ago that we might get one 5-year cycle, and this is our 4th. Or actually, I guess we're going on our 5th 5-year cycle. So we'll keep going after them as long as they offer them.
So Amy, do we need to, within the motion, do the italicized?
and there's nothing prorated
This is the last one. There was
or backdated, so I would.
Okay.
Any other questions or conversation or discussion? Not, we can entertain a motion, please.
Motion to approve item E 4, 5, and 6 as presented.
Did she discuss number 6?
Yes.
No,
Missed that?
I discussed 4 and 5.
Oh.
4 and
Oh,
5
I'm
are the
sorry.
base and CRI.
Okay.
That 6th is the immunization grant. Another grant that we go after too.
Same issue, just a different grant?
Same
Yeah, I was
issue,
gonna
just,
say-
yeah, really, it's the same issue, just a different grant.
Okay.
Yep.
I'll make the second motion on that.
So we have a motion to approve items 4, 5, and 6 as presented by JT Myers, and then Melinda Grissomer has seconded the motion.
Ron Deere,
Aye.
John Myers,
Aye.
John Myers,
Yes.
Pamela Burton,
Yes.
John Mallers,
Yes.
John Dippers,
Yes.
Melinda Reese.
Aye.
Approved.
Are we done?
Motion
Oh, I didn't
passes.
hear it. I'm sorry, I didn't hear it.
Sorry.
I'm thinking in my mind.
I was like-
I'm so tired right now. I
What
can't
else-
see
what else
straight.
you wanna do?
We started moving today, so it was, it's been a busy day, and I hope everybody got their invitation to the open house. Don't come by now, it's real scary. So give us a couple of weeks and we'll have it looking real nice and pretty for everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Betsy. Okay, item F, under other business, approval of an interlocal agreement establishing the Johnson County, Indiana opioid remediation grant program advisory board. Yes, sir.
Good evening. If you guys have any questions about it, this is kind of the culmination of many, many meetings with many county officials to begin the process.
Tell Amy who you are for the record.
I'm so sorry. Adam Bedbury, county attorney. As this body is well aware, I'm sure we've got the opioid settlement funds that we're receiving currently, and that amount continues to change and grow as more settlements come in. Many months ago, all the city officials, EMTs, health department, peer recovery coaches got together to try to figure out what we're going to do with these funds. Greenwood decided to use theirs for a paramedicine program, which is something that the county considered, but ultimately we settled on this grant program. So it'll allow the county to be very flexible. We're not sure what programs will be out there in 5 years' time, so this allows us to not put all of our eggs in one basket too early. All the cities and towns, with the exception of Greenwood, again, they're doing their own thing, which is fine, have agreed to join on this grant board. The goal is hopefully with Commissioner Walls to get the money flowing by the end of this year, hopefully. And what they'll do is the cities will contribute their restricted funds to the county. In this way, the county just collectively has a way of coming together to discuss and get these grant monies out to the groups that are basically boots on the ground trying to combat the opioid epidemic. So,
Yeah, congratulations on your collaboration. Good move. Yeah.
it is.
Long time coming, too.
It is. I think it is a great testament to the leadership in Johnson County. We don't currently, at least, have various silos where everyone's just kind of doing their own thing. At my time here in the past 2 years, almost all the leadership really has a desire to come together. And not just, when we say the county, we don't mean unincorporated Johnson County. We truly mean Johnson County. I think it's a testament to the leadership, both in this room and in the cities and towns, to come together to tackle a very dire problem that the county and all counties are facing nationwide, so.
Who's a part of the advisory board?
It'll be a commissioner, it'll be a council member, it'll be one representative from each of the city and towns, excluding Greenwood, and then 2 from Franklin. Franklin has the lion's share of the city dollars outside of Greenwood, so they're getting 2 representatives to have some kind of input. The board will meet, review the grant applications, and then they'll make recommendations to the commissioners on the award. It's very similar to our food pantry program the council did under the ARPA funding last year.
It's in your pocket too, if you didn't. Did you see that?
I did not.
Anybody else have any questions?
We will need a council appointee, so if you guys want to handle that tonight, if this passes, you guys do that as well tonight.
When are you required to have that person?
It's not, there's no deadline. We are, tonight, actually, tonight.
Yeah.
We're trying to move, this thing has been languishing where there's a lot of momentum to get it done, so.
Well, how about we do this? How about give everyone a chance to look at the information in the packet again, and then see if we get any volunteers that wants to be a part of this. And then we'll let you know at next meeting. Is that okay?
What kind of money are you expecting for
That's
this
not
grant?
okay.
You could just appoint somebody. We've waited on all the municipalities to get us the MOUs back. It's just taking a
Gotcha.
long time with some of the small ones. We're over halfway done with the year.
Mhm.
And if we need to convene and review and everything, I want to get this money on the streets as quick as I can. We wait another month.
I understand.
Somebody. So, I mean, you guys can consensus talk amongst yourself, but within the next couple, 3 days, if we could get.
Oh, is this something we can send you an email and it'd be okay, rather than wait till next month?
I think we could just ratify the appointment at the next month.
Okay.
This kind of a board's gonna be meeting a handful of times per year. It won't be a large time commitment. so.
Well, how about we do it that way then, Kevin? How about give everybody a chance to review the information again, and then in the next day or two, we'll get an email to you guys and let you know who's gonna be the representative. It shouldn't be a problem.
To answer your question, the average is approximately 250,000 unrestricted funds is what will be available for the grant program. Now, if the county wants to sequester some of that money specifically for something in the jail or the health department, we can do that. On average, the restricted share is going to be about 250,000 per year. There's a weird thing happening next year where it dives down to $12,000 for some reason, but then it goes right back up to the normal amount for the next 15 years.
Oh, nice.
Okay. So we need, excuse me, we need a motion to approve the interlocal agreement, correct?
I'll make that first motion to approve the interlocal agreement establishing the Johnson County, Indiana Opioid Remediation Grant Program Advisory Board.
Second.
We have a first by Melinda Grissomer for item 1 under F as presented, and a second by J.T. Myers.
Ron Deere,
Aye.
John Myers.
Aye.
Jonathan Myers.
Yes.
Pamela Burton.
Yes.
John Mallers.
Yes.
John Dittmers.
Aye.
Melinda Griswold.
Aye.
Pam,
Yes?
I'd like to make a point on that appointment. At this point in time, there's only 4 of you that are officially eligible for that next year.
Yes, I know. That's why I wanted a day or two to talk to everybody. Absolutely. Thank you, Ron.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to the next item. Under old and new business, approval of ordinance 2024-07, amending the annual salary ordinance. I don't know that that needs a discussion, so I'll entertain a motion.
I move to approve ordinance 2024-07, amended annual salary ordinance.
Second.
I have a motion to approve ordinance 2024 by John Eddie Myers and a second by Ron Deere.
Ron Deere,
Aye.
John Myers.
Aye.
Jonathan Myers.
Yes.
Pamela Burton.
Yes.
John Mallers.
Yes.
John Dittmers.
Aye.
Melinda Griswold.
Aye.
The next item is rule changes for council. Adam and Tiffany, I'm sorry, I don't remember who the email was from, Tiffany, sent an email showing the current rules that we have as council, and she redlined the changes that were just allowed, became effective July 1. I do not have them memorized, but I did read the document and review the document, and sat in a lot of council meetings, and I don't know that we have problems that they're speaking of and other people have had. So I don't know that we will ever use any of these rules, but I'm a firm believer they need to be in place. So after saying that, Tiffany, do you have enough information to kind of give it an overview of some of the changes and the new law?
Yes, in July, the new law went into effect. Basically, other government units have had issues, and in order to protect freedom of speech and public comment, if you do allow public comment, which this body currently does, it just gives the public a little bit more parameters. And so they are educated as well as council is educated that, people can speak, but we have to do time, place, and manner restrictions where it's 5 minutes or however you guys want to do it, if it's on the agenda. And also the rule changes that the person has to be present in person. The state changed the rule to where we don't allow public comment if they are not present in person. So really, and it lays out, this is how we will handle people who maybe are disruptive and have been asked. It's not just like we do it immediately, there's a warning, and then, hey, let's get this under control so we can, have our meetings be effective and do what you need to be here to do.
Okay. Like I said, I read it, nothing seemed out of the ordinary for anybody, but Melinda, you had a good question earlier. You might want to present to Tiffany about the comments online. If we
have somebody from the public zooming in to listen to the meeting, does this mean that they cannot ask a question during public comment, or?
Yes, it does. And that's the IGA's rule, that you have to be present in person if you want to publicly comment on anything.
So even if you are an actual council member zooming in, you are not allowed?
Well, that's not a member of the public. So,
There you go,
yeah.
okay.
And if we have like a presenter, like what Wick, had to present, then that's different. That's not considered public comment. The public right now, it's always been the case that you don't have to take public comment at all. The public
Right.
does not have the right to speak at any public meeting. But if you do allow public comment, then the IGA has set up the parameters in place on how to, go about that. And this rule does make it so you have to be in person.
And one caveat to that is just school board meetings, they do have to have public comment for that. For our purposes, we're not required to have public comment, but like Tiffany said, if we do
Correct.
allow it, you just have to follow certain guidelines.
Correct.
So.
Well, thank you for your work on that. I appreciate that. So, anybody else have any questions, comments,
I
concerns?
just kind of wonder though, we have people in nursing homes, or if they can't make it to the meeting, but they zoom in, they're not allowed to make a comment.
It's a state law at that point, so if that needs to be changed, then we just need to talk to the state legislators to get that changed.
Okay, so, all right.
We'll let you go visit them, Melinda.
Okay.
I'd move to approve.
John Ditmer's made a motion to approve, and Eddie Myers seconded the motion to approve the council rule changes.
Ron Deere,
Aye.
Tom Myers,
Aye.
Jonathan Myers,
Yes.
Pamela Burton,
Yes.
John Mallers,
Yes.
John Dittmers,
Yes.
Linda Griesmer.
Yes.
Okay, our next meeting will be August the 12th, 2024.
Okay. Pam, before we adjourn,
Uh-huh.
what's the status of how many for our August workshop, and what time are we starting?
Okay, I believe Amy and I looked at that this afternoon, and I believe we determined the time of 12 o'clock noon, starting, with an ending time hopefully at 5 o'clock to give us an hour break before our meeting starts at 6. Allowing 15 minutes for everyone that was on there, I think was 3 hours and 20 minutes. But we have a couple of departments. One has requested 90 minutes and the other has requested an hour. I don't think that will be necessary, but that's the time frame as best we could come. Amy, did we get a number? I don't know that we ever counted. There's quite a few, but I don't know that we ever counted.
It's like almost all departments, but like 5.
Yeah, almost everybody but 5.
Okay, and when are we getting the books?
I'd have to look at the letter. It says when the books are coming, but
Is she gonna be able to do that?
Still on schedule, as far as I know.
absolutely.
Okay,
But I don't have the date in front of me, but it is on your guideline letter.
So, again, what was the date of that meeting?
August 12th. Budget information, I have it in front of me right here. It was an email that was sent, and The council will be having public meetings / budget workshops August the 12th. And this is for all departments to come before the council to address any concerns or give explanations necessary regarding their 2025 budget, and a sign-up sheet was provided in the auditor's office, and everyone was asked if they had any questions to reach out to their specific liaison or a council member. And that time couldn't be determined until we saw how many was interested. So at this point, noon to 5, allowing 15 minutes for each person, and then the two that have asked for an exceptional amount of time, I don't think that's going to be necessary. They'll have to condense that, make that a shorter version, with us taking a break from 5 to 6 before council meeting starts at 6,
I have a question.
as long as it's not hard.
Departments, are they elected officials or are they departments? Or are
They're-
they both?
They're going to be both, because, for instance, everyone that all the departments under the commissioners are department heads, so I am assuming the department heads will be here to represent their department. But those are all actually under the elected officials of the commissioners.
At the approval of the elected official, department heads.
Well, I think that's pretty much a given, yes. Because they're all required to do their budget, so that would in itself, you would assume, be their elected officials' permission to present the budget. So, any other questions? Okay, well, if,
I've got one quick
Absolutely.
thing. I don't need a vote on this, and I don't think this warrants discussion at this particular meeting, so this is just more of a consensus to make sure that Tiffany and I don't step out of line. There has been conversations in the past about doing a salary study for next year's budget, so not budget for 25, but budget for 26. According to Wagner, Erwin Shealy, if we're gonna do that, we need to get under contract with them later this fall to get in the right queue, to get it back in time where it's useful for you guys. So if that's still what you guys want, we'll reach out to Wagner and get that back to you guys for your next month's meeting.
Will that be a full council discussion?
On the, if you're gonna do it, yeah, absolutely.
Because it hasn't been yet.
no, that's what he's pointing out. That it needs to be, and the decision needs to be made, so we can get under contract.
And that way also, like Tiffany and I were talking today, we'll get back to you guys as well early enough to where you can factor that into any kind of budget you guys need for next year as well, so.
So if we're prepared to discuss it the next meeting and come up with a decision, then that should allow ample time, correct?
Right.
And Pam, I gave you that amount for our budget.
I'm sorry?
To Pam, I gave her that amount for our budget, what they projected.
Yes, we got
Okay,
it. We got it in there.
Okay, good deal.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you.
We'll have a contract for you guys next month then, so.
Anybody else? Okay, I'll entertain a motion to,
Move to adjourn.
Second.
I have a motion to adjourn by John Mallers and a second by John Eddie Myers. I still need name tags.
We have,
I hope you guys have any questions on John Eddie and JT.
Yeah.
I prefer.
Okay.